Okay, I'm going live.
Okay, do it. Oh, no.
All right,
we
we're
live?
live.
Oh, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, the No Respect Podcast, here to review Game 1, but also preview Game 2 between the Habs and the Bolts. Tonight, the Stanley Cup Finals continue. First time we do this live in how many goddamn years? It's like been a year, right, Justin?
It's been like, probably, more than a year. It was before the
Yeah,
pandemic
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah. We used to do this stuff on Twitch. Are you a little bit nervous?
I'm very nervous. Wow. No, I'm not
You're
nervous at
very
all.
nervous.
Why would I be nervous? We
great.
have 0 viewers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know who else isn't nervous? I can tell you this much, just because I believe in them, and I think they believe in themselves. It's the Montreal Canadiens. So today, what we wanted to do, obviously, if you're going to be watching this not live, please know that it is live, so we might screw up even more often than we normally do when we do these podcasts. We'll keep it more PG, I guess, because we're live. I don't know.
No, fuck that.
Okay, all right, there we go. You set the tone great. I'm just going to get the link here so I can maybe take a look at the chat if I can. Give
Yeah,
me
we
a
got
sec.
some people in here.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Hey, guys.
Interesting. Let's go. We've got some people in here. I love this. All right, well, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're the No Respect Podcast. If you guys do not know us, my name is Mackie, and to my right, my virtual right, is Justin. And we're going to talk about the game. We don't have Alex with us. Alex is our third member of this podcast.
He's working. He's working. He's a
he is
working man
working.
right now.
Yeah, he is a working man, so he's got to get that bread. But you know who else is going to get that bread tonight? I'm feeling it, and I hope you guys are too. It's the Montreal Canadiens, okay? The Montreal Canadiens, after a rough loss against the Bolts, Tampa Bay, Game 1. We all knew that this game wasn't going to be a sweep for the Habs. This series wasn't going to be a sweep for the Habs. But it was not the greatest performance. And if we look a little bit about the comments in the pressers by the media, not the media, but the players themselves speaking to the media, as well as Luke Richardson, the coach. Basically, what they're talking about is that they know that they didn't have their greatest game. And they take that as a positive, is that Montreal Canadiens, I mean, when we watch this game, I think we all know that it wasn't the best performance. The Lightning are a great team. There was a feeling out process. But when you look at this game a little bit, you take a step back from the 5-1 loss side of things. I mean, the Habs were heading into the third 2-1, correct?
Yes,
and then
correct.
they kind of shut the bed, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what your thoughts were on this one. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you guys have anything, I'm looking at Checkmate, Elias Daniel, Karl Prochowski, the legend himself, but Elias as well. Adam Deeney. So thank you guys so much for taking a look at the No Respect
Denny.
Podcast.
I think it's Denny.
Oh, sorry.
Brett.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I mean,
that up.
yeah, for the first game, I mean, you know what? We lost the first game against Vegas too, and Vegas in that game, I thought dominated for the second and third period in game 1 of round 3. And you know what? We came back hard in game 2, and we won that game. So I'm not too worried about the bounce back, and I think, like you said, the guys know that they can do better. I think they came in the game a bit nervous. It felt like they were kind of, I don't know, maybe a bit intimidated by the pressure of being in like a full building against one of the best teams in the league in the Stanley Cup final. It's a lot of pressure, but you know what? I think they're going to bounce back this game, and yeah, I mean, Vasilevsky was playing pretty well in the first part of the game. I thought in the first like 5 minutes or so, we were putting a lot of pressure, and we could have scored a goal in the first 5 minutes there. So, I mean, we're gonna have to solve Vasilevsky, and we're gonna have to just keep to our game. And I saw, I think it might have been Eric Engels or someone in the media saying that the Lightning kind of played our game and capitalized on our mistakes and kind of went on the rush and then got goals that way. So we have to stick to our game, not make mistakes, be sound defensively. And another thing, that the power play that the Tampa Bay Lightning has is just,
they're nasty.
It's just crazy. It's like the Harlem Globetrotters out there. So we need to really be careful, not take a lot of penalties, and try and keep that power play at rest, not let them get on it, because it's really crazy. They have some of the best shooters in the game, Stamkos, Kucherov, and Braden Point, like, and Hedman. Like, you keep naming them. There's just amazing players on this team. So we need to stay out of the penalty box, be better defensively, and capitalize offensively.
You can tell that they have a power play that is lit when they do a fake shot from the cross seam pass and then don't decide to shoot and cross seam it right back to the other shooter. I think that was Kucherov to Stamkos that did that a few times. That I was like, okay, these guys are the real deal. We all knew that the Tampa Bay Lightning are the real deal. And coming back to your comments and looking at Elias and asking what our predictions are for tonight. I don't like to do predictions because I'm too much of a soft boy when it comes to predictions, because I don't want to, eat crow. What I can tell you is I think the Montreal Canadiens and especially what they've proven in this playoff series is that they will have a better game. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning, top team in the league, $18 million over the cap. Yes, I went there. I'm just going to say it. They're a great team. They're at home. They've got a full barn. But the Montreal Canadiens, like everyone has said, they haven't played their greatest game. And if they did play their greatest game, that'd be a different story. I'd be more worried. If they really played well and Tampa was just like, yeah, buddy, that's not it. It's not going to work. That's a different story. But the Montreal Canadiens, if they clean up those areas, the turnovers especially, playing a little bit more that there were uncharacteristic mistakes that I saw the Montreal Canadiens make in the last game. If they go back to the way that they were playing, I can guarantee you that it's going to be a closer game. And that's all I'm betting on right now. The Montreal Canadiens are going to head into this full Tampa building with one game loss, but they can pull it off. Now, will they? They need to clean up all of those areas, like we said. Couple of the comments I'll read out. Just want to shout out Habs and High Heels on Twitter, which is Priyanta Emrith, where I get all of these great quotes. Nick Suzuki says nothing surprised them about the Lightning. They're definitely as advertised as the Canadiens. Just need to match Tampa's intensity and compete levels. We can definitely play with these guys. So, like we said, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's going to be a challenge to be met here. But is there anything specific for you, Justin, when we come and talk about getting this W tonight? Is there something specific? Is it penalty trouble? Is it the cleaning up of the areas? What's the key? And if there's one person that you want to isolate that can maybe be the driving force for the Habs tonight, maybe you can answer that as well.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's scoring. We need to get some scoring going. We can't bank off Ben Sherratt shot from the point that hits off two defensemen and then goes in. So we need to generate more. I think Nick Suzuki said it great. We have to play with more intensity. Get a little cycle going. Something that the Tampa Bay Lightning are really good at is getting that cycle and just keeping in the zone there. And something that we kind of missed with our fourth line, with Yoel Armia coming in this game. Hopefully that line can get some momentum going, get some big shifts there, get some energy going. And I don't know. I mean, I think, like you said, I think it was a bit of an uncharacteristic game by the Habs, as much as in these playoffs. Like, we've seen a more intense game from them and a more kind of structured game. So I think Tampa Bay kind of got through that and kind of broke through our game a little bit. So hopefully we can just like shut it down a bit more and not let them through as much. But I think what really hurt us was the early goal. I think after that we kind of we're always on our heels, scared to make a mistake, and then that's it. So I mean, us getting a quick goal is going to be huge. I think that can be one of the keys to this game too.
Yeah, I totally agree. Want to welcome in Nicolas Turcotte. Let's go, boys. Let's go, Nicolas. Game 2 tonight. I just want to thank once again everybody who's watching right now. Preview of Game 2. A little bit of a review of Game 1, of course, because we missed that and we're going live. Jeff M. says Zook had a bad game. That line will come back tonight, baby. I agree with that. Nick Suzuki, I think, didn't have the greatest game. I think that Carey Price, as much as he's been in God mode in these series, I think he had a normal night, which is you can't expect him to be just lights out and stealing games every night. This was not a game where he stole. Not to say that he won't steal one. I think he might need to in one of these games against the Lightning. This is that good of a team. They need to be able to get it done whatever way it is. You talk about depth with this group. If it's not Nick Suzuki who needs to perform, it's got to be a Jesperi Kotkaniemi, or it needs to be the fourth line like you mentioned, or Carey Price steals one, or you get some pops from the blue line that we haven't necessarily seen as much as we'd like from this group during the series. But that's what it's going to take. I think that heading into tonight, I agree with Jeff in saying that, Nick Suzuki needs to be a bit more of a factor. That whole line, I think, Caulfield, Toffoli weren't that visible last game. And I think that's going to be a key for tonight if we can get that line rolling. But that's the beauty of this team. There's enough depth that you can find a hero in pretty much every line. I like that Nicolas is talking about Price being Patrick Roy fucking reincarnated. I think that's, we saw the wink that he did. It's great.
Yeah.
Carl's talking about how, Gallagher needs to pay off with the hard work that he's put in, and you'd love to see a greasy Galley goal for sure.
What a fucking warrior. What a warrior. We have it on screen.
Look at him. Bottom right. Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
No,
it's
this is like prototypical Gallagher. Like, this is him in a picture. Like, he won't fucking give up. His head smashed to the ice. He gets right back up and he's ready to fucking score another goal. Like, I think he's gonna have a huge game tonight. I think he's gonna be fucking fired up. And yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with Carl Prochowski. Greasy Galley is gonna be back in game 2.
Just need him in front of the net, a little dirty tip. Yeah. Hit a little bit of Vasilevsky, but make sure it's clean. You know what I mean? Like, just
Anthony Cirelli was fucking all up in Carey Price's business, so I don't care if it's.
Right.
Just keep it clean, but get in Vasilevsky's face, like get in front of him. That's how you're gonna beat him.
Just knock at the door. Knock at the door a little bit aggressively. Ring a few times. You gotta be there. Just be there and be a presence. Be like a vacuum salesman and just be insistent on being present in front of that blue paint. That's all we really need. And we need everybody to do that. If it's not Gallagher, that Corey Perry's going to do it, right?
Yeah.
I think every line needs to have a guy like that. Maybe not for the Suzuki line because they're all a little bit, more skill heavy and less like net front presence type of players. What I would say is that I'd like for Josh Anderson to be that guy as well a little bit more. Get to the middle, use that size, and be a factor in the screens. When you have the 6'3", power horse frame that you do, going down like a fridge, at the speed of lightning, it's the perfect recipe to be a factor against this Tampa Bay Lightning team. But I'm repeating myself a bit, but this group does need every single line to contribute to be a factor against this top heavy and / deep team in the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's just a fact.
Yeah. That's something I felt in game 1. It didn't feel like we were rolling our lines very well. Like, we wouldn't go from one shift to another having a lot of momentum and having a lot of energy. So I think that's something that really, we need to fix. That's kind of our game plan is to roll those lines, like have a good shift after good shift after good shift and keep that going. So I think that's something we'll see hopefully in game 2. And I see Nicolas Turcotte says that I look like a ginger Josh Anderson. I think that's one of the best compliments I've ever had in my life. So thank you very much, sir.
You've gotten a lot of player lookalikes. I'm not going to lie. Like, you've gotten Paul Byron. That's my girlfriend who thinks that you look a little bit like Paul Byron. You've gotten Tyler Toffoli, but ginger, once again. And now you get the Gallagher. I kind of like it. I like this.
You mean Anderson. Anderson.
Sorry, he said Anderson?
Yeah, he said Anderson. No?
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You couldn't believe it.
It's true. Couldn't believe it. But my point being is that you do look like like when you start NHL be a pro mode, you look like one of the faces that could be in the selection of the standard hockey.
You know what? No? I actually, every time I make a be a pro, I can almost make my face perfectly in shell. Yeah. It's incredible, and I feel very lucky because those faces are just horrible. They have like the most random face configurations. It's like, and yeah. Anyway.
No, I agree.
So maybe I just have a weird face. Maybe that's it.
I don't think so. I think you've got a great face.
Oh, thank you.
When I try to do my be a pro mode on NHL, it's problematic because I can't increase the roundness of my face, so it never gets there. So, Joshua Smart joining us. Oh, thank you very much for the kind comment there. I was 4 the last time we won a cup, so I'm so pumped. All right. Well,
I
we
was
weren't
0.
even born you were 0.
Well, I was
wasn't even
minus. Yeah, I was not born. I was not born yet.
I was a thought. You were a thought. Well, no. Were you?
No, I was a
you
mistake.
somewhat?
I was a mistake.
There you go.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna send out a little question for people because this is the first time we do this on YouTube. It's been a while since we've been live, so I'm just gonna do a little prediction for the first goal. So let's take prediction for the. You see that? No Respect podcast. Take a look.
Wait,
predictions for the first goal, everyone. You see that?
I didn't
That's
see
me.
it.
I typed that out, guys.
Wow.
I typed it out.
You're a
It's
pro at this.
insane. Technology. Am I right? Huh? So you guys, if you guys want to give your predictions for the first goal, we'll read those out for before the game. We're going to end the stream relatively soon. I'd say, what, 15, 20 minutes? We got to go. We got to get some beer.
We gotta get some beer. We gotta get together. We're watching the game at our friend Patrick's place. So
yeah, Patrick has been an all-star during these.
Yeah.
Okay.
We watch his
So
game
you know
in his
what?
garage. It's just incredible. Saves us from the rain from time to time, and still within COVID protocols. So nobody come at us with that.
I'm sorry. I'm reading some of the comments. We're talking about when we were what age were we? Phil McCrack says that he was 10 years old because I was in my dad's ball bag when the Habs last won the cup. That's hilarious.
Hey.
So the first
Got away
goal,
with words, this guy.
we're taking a look here. So we got Stowe Zone. Oh, he says Weber. I like that pick. Nice, bold. We need if we could get a goal from the back end and it's Papa Webby. Like that shit.
You know what? Armia. I agree with that.
Armia by Jeff. I like
Armia
that.
coming back in this game.
That'd be unreal. You got Galley from Joshua Smart. That's a smart answer. I'll tell you that one.
Wow.
Right there. Power play goal for Petrie. Carl Proschowski killing it right now.
He has not scored in a while, and he could use it. That's something that I would be so happy if he could
missing
put
a couple of fingers there because of the camera hole, right? So
fucking photographers, man. I can't stand.
Are you kidding me? What a photographer you are. All right. Phil says Toffoli. Checkmate says Suzuki. Dave Elliott 2-1. KK for the first goal. I like that. You know I have a Kakanyemi jersey on. I know I don't. It's downstairs. I thought I was wearing it. I'm wrong. I'm going to be wearing it for tonight. Rookie mistake. That's when you know we haven't been live in a while. So then after that, Nicolas Turcotte, Caulfield, and also you guys should do a live stream. While we're watching, unfortunately we can't. We actually have to get to 1,000 subscribers for that to be on mobile device. So right now we're at our PCs. So if we get to 1,000 subscribers, maybe next year, I know we're at like 548. A huge thank you to everyone that has subbed and has been enjoying our content. It's been a big year. We've talked about it on the podcast, but we really, really appreciate everyone's support. It's been pretty just amazing. It's been really awesome. So
you guys are sick. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's really nuts. We've got Joshua asking what our picks are. I like that question because we haven't even answered our own question. So let's go with it. What's your pick, Justin?
Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot now.
Well, yeah, of course. I need to think about my answer.
You know what? I liked Jeff M's answer, Armia. I really think that him coming back in after the COVID positive scare test thing, I think he's going to have impact. That line has been money for us in the last couple of rounds, in the last 3 rounds, actually. So, I mean, I think they're going to have a big game, and I think Armia puts one away tonight.
I like it. I'm going to go with Nick Suzuki. I can't remember who said it. Hang on, let me take a look. It's Checkmate who said it. I like that answer. I think he's going to bounce back. That line is going to bounce back. Toffoli, Caulfield, Suzuki. That's what I'm looking for. You know? Emmanuel Gonzalez, I totally agree. Respect, right? Because you're here with the No Respect podcast. Yeah. Previewing Game 2, Tampa Bay, Montreal, les Canadiens, le Tricolore, le Bleu
in the
Blanc
fucking
Rouge.
Stanley Cup Finals. Can we just come back to that?
Holy fuck. Let's take a step back. Because
we're in the finals.
We haven't had the chance to talk about this live. We've been vocal, as you guys know. If you watch the stream, well, not the streams, but our videos. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, I think we can say that this has been a hell of a run for the Montreal Canadiens. And you as Habs fans, us as Habs fans, wherever you are, if you're in Montreal, le 514, le 450, if you're all the way in the West Coast, if you're in the States, if you're in England, if you're in Australia, no matter where you are, just remember these times, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not every day, it's not every year that we're going to have these types of runs down 3-1 against the Maple Leafs. Come back, Game 7 win? Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? No, it's the 2021 playoff edition of the Montreal Canadiens. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And, for a lot of us, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Dave from Newfoundland, baby. Newfoundland. I said Newfoundland.
I mean,
like an idiot.
It's
Incredible.
Close. It was close.
Here we go. So, Justin, talk a little bit about this run, what it's meant for you watching this team kind of be a surprise in all of this.
I mean,
because it's been such a difference, right?
No, I mean, that Toronto series just kind of, I mean, it was incredible. I still like can't believe that we're in the finals. It feels like it's happened so quick, and we're here now, and it's like, holy fuck, this is actually happening. And yeah, I mean, the Toronto series was just incredible. I've said it time and time again. It's like, you can't write that shit. Like, we were down 3-1, come back against Toronto. Hadn't played them in the playoffs since the 70s.
Yeah,
it was
or 79?
79, I believe. We spanked them then too. And yeah, I mean, that was an incredible series. We spank Winnipeg. Respect to the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, respect.
A great organization,
them, right? Yeah, we respect.
I'm getting a bit excited here, but
yeah, it's okay.
And then
don't worry about it.
The Vegas Golden Knights, one of legitimately the best teams in the league, like cup contenders all year long. I think they were second in the standings, if I'm not mistaken, and we played with them. We were up to par with them, and we came out with the win. It seemed like no problem. We could beat the world. And now Tampa's up. Game 1, forget about it. We get game 2. Like,
yeah.
I think there was a stat. Someone tweeted. I forget who it was, but the last 5 Stanley Cup final appearances, the Habs have lost in game 1. But they won.
Well, they won, so that's it, baby. Like it's. I mean, you can't after game 1, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people that they want to get off the wagon because the wagon is not, for whatever reason, they haven't fastened their seatbelt on the wagon, and you should always fasten your seatbelt when you get into a moving vehicle.
Keep your hands, arms, all extremities inside the vehicle at all times, please.
Okay, it's
be safe.
The Montreal Canadiens. Okay, they need your support right now. Game 1, you're not going to win 4. We spoke about this. You're not going to win 4. It so happens to be game 1. It's in Tampa. So, I mean, it's not to be necessarily expected, but it's not a surprise. I mean, technically, the Tampa Bay Lightning should have these 2 home games. It should be theirs, right?
On paper, technically, yes.
Like, you haven't lost, or you're not in trouble in the series until you lost at home. That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
So the Habs are not there yet. Now, if we pull this off and get a win tonight, that's huge. And I'm just taking a look at some of the comments because I think Sam Piazza joining us. Love Sam Piazza. Huge thank you for joining us. We've got, sorry, here we go. I read a great comment before. I think it was by Joshua. Yes, this is a crucial game. Got to come back home with the split. I'm in Maine, so repping the States. So we've got Joshua covered in the Maine area in the States. You better be yelling. You better be honking. I gave a couple of honks to people that I saw today wearing some jerseys. So I did my part. What are you doing? Okay, just make sure that you're responsible.
Open your window.
Showing your love. Open your window. Shout out some people.
Start yelling.
Shout.
Yell.
It's not a problem to shout. If you shout with authority, but with kindness, you're doing a great job, okay? The Montreal Canadiens are in the Stanley Cup. You got to be yelling, okay? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Checkmate, who's from Toronto. You've got yourself a challenge right there in Toronto. Anybody that's in Ontario right now that's repping Habs fans with some merch, it's been pretty eventful of a
Yeah.
playoff series for the Ontario people watching the Montreal Canadiens. Right
Do they still have the Habs colors on the CN Tower there? Checkmate, can you get us back with that?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know.
I mean,
Niagara
they
Falls
must
still-
at this point they must, like.
I mean, if they did it just for round 2 against the Jets, it'd be weird.
Yeah,
You know,
it would be.
Oh, it's only just not after 11. We're gonna change that when we win the cup. Am I right? the Toronto CN Tower, by the end of this series, will it stay bleu blanc rouge? I think so.
Forever, I
think
think.
Toronto.
I think it's forever.
I think Toronto will just give up on the Leafs and just become Habs bandwagoners. You think that's gonna happen?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
No,
But
it's not gonna happen.
we can dream. Actually,
One
I don't know if we want that.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
the other side of things.
Did you see that Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau have a friendly wager on Twitter?
Do they?
Yeah, for the
Really?
Habs and Bolts.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What's the wager?
I don't. Well, it's just like they
Do
just
we like exchange
proposed.
currency?
They proposed exchange currencies. I fucking wish. No, but they proposed the wager. I don't know if there's anything actually announced at this point. It was just kind of an at on Twitter.
Okay.
But he responded and he said,
Okay,
"I'm
so
game."
he responded.
Yeah.
Okay, he's game. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're up to 25 viewers. First time we live streamed this year. This is massive. I want to thank everyone. I know that this might not be a lot for you guys, but it's a lot for us. And we thank you for being with us, and thank you for participating in the chat. Checkmate, Sam Piazza, Nicolas, Turcotte. We got Joshua. We've got Jeff. The Maple Leafs as a whole will pass away if we win. I mean, you're not wrong, Jeff. I mean, you're not wrong. A year where they were supposed to win the Stanley Cup again, but it's a first-round exit instead. That hurts. You hate to see it, but you love to see it, right? Sam Piazza says, really hope the Habs win this year for Carey and Shea. There's
Oh, yeah.
nobody who deserves it more,
I
in
agree.
my opinion. Completely agree. I mean, Carey Price alone has been the rock of this team when we had no depth. We had, David Dernay, who was our first-line center. All respect to David Dernay, who was not put in that position by choice and that, deserved it at the time. But, I mean, we had Torrey Mitchell. We had Brian Flynn. Thomas Fleischman. We got Thomas Vanek at the deadline. That was nuts. We got Max Pacioretty, perimeter patches that just got eliminated.
But another guy,
what
I mean,
else?
you just said him. Gallagher is a guy that fucking, for me, is so deserving of a cup. He's just been a warrior for us. He's been the heart and soul. We hear it all time and time again.
Yeah.
Him and also Corey Perry and Eric Stahl, who haven't won the cup, I think, in 14 and 15 years, respectively. They won in 2006, 2007. So those guys are hungry for it. Corey Perry got close last year. He got close again. I really want these guys to win, man.
And the other side of it, you got a Cole Caulfield that has just been winning at life this year.
Yeah.
Like Hobie Baker winner. He won the golds.
World
he won
Junior.
the world. Everything has been going right. He comes into the Stanley Cup series. I mean, like starting from round 1 in game 3, I believe that's when they inserted him to the lineup. And he's in the Stanley Cup final. Like, we talk about this being, experience for the young guys. This is nuts for Cole Caulfield, who's just living the dream right now. Everyone loves him. He's sniping. He's defied all odds at 5'7", being in the NHL and being the well, I don't want to say superstar just yet, but I mean, let's be real here.
I mean, the other thing too, you said he's 20 years old, right? He's just gonna get better.
That's my point.
This is, if you think about it, these are his first 25 games in the NHL, and he's already playing to this level, being this clutch. So it's just so awesome to see that we have this type of player that's gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, you can't not be excited by Cole Caulfield right now. We're going to wrap this up relatively soon. We'll take a couple of more comments and maybe just talk a little bit about the game too. Last couple of comments. So if you guys have anything that you want us to address, again, this is the first time we stream. Then we got to go get some beer. We got to go to our friend Patrick's house. We got to watch the game. We're going to be tweeting And we'll probably do this again. So if you guys enjoyed this, a huge thank you for joining us tonight, the No Respect Podcast. If you're new, huge thank you for joining us. And for those of you who have been enjoying the content, again, just appreciate the constant support and the comments that we've been getting. So Checkmate saying that he ditched the Leafs at age 6 because of the boring plays and personalities. Looking back at the best decision of my life. I mean, this is a perfect time to say that as the Montreal Canadiens are the final 2 teams here for the Stanley Cup. Joshua, been a Carey Price fan since he got drafted. He needs this cup. I completely agree. Agree.
He also asked, who out of the playoffs has stood out the most for you guys?
It's got to be Carey for me. I'm going to go real quick. When you look at the difference between what we saw in the regular season, everyone's saying that, this is a guy that can be better. We all knew that, as you point out to your jersey. I think he's been the standout in terms of, because there's a couple of, there's at least 2 guys for me, and Carey Price being, at the head of this list. The second one is for me, Nick Suzuki, man. Because without Nick Suzuki elevating his game, for me, the team is not as dangerous. Like that line of Cole Caulfield, Tyler Toffoli, it needs the centerman that goes with that, or it doesn't work. And Nick Suzuki has become that guy. Phil Deneau, we all know, is a great defensive center, but to generate offense, Nick Suzuki has the upper hand. But defensively, he's not trading off that side of his game to be able to be that guy. So if there was 2, it had to be Carey Price and Nick Suzuki for me, and I can name a few others, to be honest. I like Shea Weber coming back from the dead here. Sorry,
you took my answer.
I'll let you answer. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say from the contrast between the regular season and the playoffs, you can't forget about Shea Weber. Shea Weber has been so good defensively. And he's just been a force in the playoffs, and he doesn't let anyone come into his territory. Him and Ben Sherratt, they've been eating up huge minutes. Well, I mean, the 4 of them, I would just shout out the defense. Like Ben Sherratt, Shea Weber, Jeff Petrie, and Joel Edmondson. Joel Edmondson is a gem. People were shitting on Marc Bergevin this summer for acquiring him. He has been incredible in the playoffs so far. And not only defensively, he's shown some sweet passes, like on that Cole Caulfield goal in Game 6 against Vegas. That was just a great pass. So I would shout out the defense, but it's hard to pick. Everyone on our team is just performing at the level that we knew that they could. It's so great to see, because with a team that prides itself on its depth, when all your depth players and everyone is buying in and playing well, it's just incredible to see. So I would shout out the whole fucking team.
I mean, I agree with you. Like even a guy like Eric Stahl, he came in and was not playing well. You had Yoel Armia, who had some games in the regular season where he performed, but then didn't always wasn't a factor in most. Lehkonen has picked up his game. I mean, we can go top to bottom here and talk about everyone who's elevated their game at the most pivotal time, when you're down 3-1 in the first round and everybody says, all right, it's time to wake up. We're about to get eliminated, and I don't feel like playing golf. Not just yet. Not just yet. Okay?
Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll see him at St. Raf or something.
Yeah. Just want to thank Carl. I think Carl is no longer watching, but he really enjoyed the live stream, Justin. Just letting you know. I know you see these comments, but thanks for the great content and your contributions to the Habs fan base. Carl has been one of the greatest listeners, subscribers to this
commenters.
Channel. So
always comments with great comments, really thoughtful and well put together. Great human being there.
Yeah, completely agree.
Let's take this last question from Sam, and then I think we'll
I just want to shout out Joshua, and then we've got What Bro says Weber has made some surprisingly good offensive plays lately, too, under pressure and moving his feet well all of a sudden. I agree. He's been, and also we all know, I mean, you look at the grimaces on the bench and stuff like that, this guy's playing injured. There's a lot of them that are playing injured, and the fact that he's able to stay at this level and actually increase the level of play that we've seen since the regular season. We come back to the fact that you can't write it better than this. The story of this team that didn't belong, that was down 3-1, that just puts it all together at the last minute. This is why it's been an exciting time for the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, and Carl is here until the end. What a fucking beaut. What a beaut.
What a guy.
Okay, let's get to Sam's question, Justin, like you said. You want to read it out for us here?
Yeah, he says, what do you think about Tatar not playing in the playoffs? He's surprised by that decision. I don't know if you want to start on this, Mackie.
I could start if you'd like.
Go ahead.
I mean, all right. For me, it was evident in the fact that Tatar, when he came into the obviously he started the series, right, against the Leafs, and quickly came out. And for me, it's been explained before, but this is the type of player that I guess the Montreal Canadiens don't believe can elevate his game to be effective in playoff style hockey. Now, you look at what Vegas did when they were a great team and they pushed and they got Tatar for the first, second, and third round pick that year. Tatar became a scratch. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't insert Thomas Tatar, he can't, do it. But I think that there's other players that have proven it. And when you look at the run that you're currently on with the Montreal Canadiens, why would you not give a chance to those who have already proven it? So that's the only thing. I can understand why it's a little bit complexing and confusing as a decision, because this is a guy that has been our top scorer in the regular season. But as we've seen, there's guys like Mitch Marner. There's guys that that in these playoffs, being a regular season player isn't nothing. It doesn't mean nothing, but when you get to the playoffs, it's a different style of game and it needs to translate. So I'm not necessarily upset that Thomas Tatar hasn't found his way back into the lineup, especially when you look at the fact that the Montreal Canadiens are in the finals right now. They got there with some type of recipe that they followed. So I don't think they want to break that and bring in an element that would be a question mark in Thomas Tatar, at least in the playoffs. Now, this may mean that we don't see him in the Montreal Canadiens jersey next season, but we already knew that Caulfield coming up and the contracts that we currently have, that was probably already the case. But, I love Thomas Tatar. Everybody remembers some of the top goals that he scored, some nasty but breakaway goals that he's pulled off, some ridiculous moves, some good snipes. And just been a solid line with Brendan Gallagher and Phil Deneau. But at the end of the day, would you remove Lehkonen and put in Tatar at this stage?
At this stage, no. But I think I kind of agree with you. I mean, honestly, I think our team is better with Tatar in the lineup, but all of our kind of players that could have come out of the lineup because of him have outplayed him and have just played up to a level that maybe they didn't show before. And we've had the scoring from depth and stuff, so it's not like we really need his scoring right now. But I think, he just got kind of played out of the lineup, and we have so much depth that it's bound to happen to some players. Like, some players are, when we have kind of players that come in and out of the lineup, it's bound to happen to some players that underperform. You're going to have players come in, and then we had so much momentum, we played so well that there's no real reason to try and put him back in the lineup at this point. So, I mean, it kind of sucks for him. I'd love to see him play. Maybe if there's an injury or something, like, knock on wood, there's none. But if you can get in the lineup and snipe some goals, I'd love to see that, because I love the player.
I agree. I just don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. I mean, again, barring injury, I just don't see a situation where it happens for Thomas Tatar, because, again, if it was round one, you're knocking on wood, I'll knock on my wood as well. Well, my wood being the desk, Okay.
Let's keep it PG here.
I'll keep it PG. But yeah, so all I was going to say is we're at the stage here. It's not round one. It's the Stanley Cup final. It's been working for the previous rounds. Now, if you see that the Montreal Canadiens go down a lot in this series, like, let's say it's 3-0, then all bets are off. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm expecting a bounce back here. and we shall see. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that about does it. I need to go pick up Justin from his place. We need to head over to our friend Patrick's. If you guys want to, just say thank you to Patrick for hosting us. I don't know why you would, but you can. You can find us at No Respect Podcast on Twitter, where we usually tweet like idiots during the game. For those of you who are watching it tonight, as you all are right now on the stream, we just wish you a great time. Get out there, be loud. It doesn't matter. It's a Wednesday night. Nobody cares. It's Canada Day.
It's Canada Day tomorrow. Day off.
Exactly. Just have yourselves a night. Okay,
Relish in the
ladies and
moment.
gentlemen. It's the Habs in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's see what happens. Game 2, Montreal Canadiens versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. And you've been listening to the No Respect Podcast. We're missing Alex, but we've got Justin. You got myself, Mackie. We're wrapping this one up. We'll be back for another live stream. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for the participation. We hope you enjoy tonight. Game 2, baby. Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay. Let's get it. 8 p.m.
baby.
Start. Enjoy it. All right. Attaque à 5, like Carl says. Huge thank you to Joshua, Sam, what bro? Let me
Jeff.
get some other shout outs.
Carl.
Checkmate, Emmanuel Gonzalez. We've got who else?
We had Danielle
Nicolas
at the start.
Turcotte, Danielle,
Adam.
Jeff. All of these people. I want to just
Beautiful.
say thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back for another one, maybe for Game 3. This was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll get
Canada
get
Day
Alex.
stream, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy tonight. We shall see you soon. This was the No Respect Podcast. We always remind you to respect the Orgasm Nation, of course. And Game 2, baby. Les Canadiens de Montréal.
Go
We're not
Habs, go.
fucking around, okay? Go Habs, go. Go Habs, go. Enjoy tonight. We'll see you around. God
Peace.
bless.